My name is Arin Lindauer, and you're listening to A Life Without Struggle. I'm a wife, a mother of 2 wonderful children, a 2-time best-selling author, and a highly driven and successful entrepreneur. In my 17-plus year career as a mindset and health expert, I know what holds women back from a life you only dream about. Whether you're a CEO, a businesswoman, or executive, I started this podcast because I have been where you are, and I know you want and deserve more out of your life. I believe women are limitless. We just get lost along the way. The process to get you there is the topic and purpose of this podcast. When you understand what you want, you can truly step into a life without struggle. Welcome, and I'm so thankful you're here. Welcome back to another episode. Today we will dig into 10 mindset shifts for long-term success. This is a wildly important topic that I wanted to bring here today to all of my listeners because this truly is a journey. It's a journey towards long-term success. And it isn't just about adopting new habits. It's about rewiring this mindset. Whether you're striving for career achievements, you have personal growth, you have a health and wellness goal, these 10 powerful mindset shifts will pave the way for lasting triumph and fulfillment. It really is everything to understand that there has to be a shift. There has to be a shift in you. One of the most important things that I have taken away from a lot of my coaching and training and then bring to these podcasts, bring to the women that I serve is this truly is about who are you becoming up as a part of this journey. And the first time I heard that, I truly didn't buy into it and I didn't realize what this meant. So today I'm going to help dig into 10 mindset shifts that will help you with long-term success, no matter what the goal is that you're striving for. So this first one is all about embracing the journey, not just the destination. So of course, if we had a health and wellness goal, we absolutely want to see the number on the scale. That number on the scale is everything to us, and rightfully so. Or, a certain clothing or bathing suit or something, right? Like just feeling good in our own skin. And of course, we want the destination like yesterday, always. So we have to shift our focus from fixating solely on the end goal to relinquishing every step of, or relishing in every aspect of this journey. So success just isn't this destination. It's a collection of moments, lessons, and growth along the way that truly just defines this entire experience. Now, you may be saying, cool, Arin, that sounds great. And I can certainly appreciate that. But what I want you to understand is every moment in time, you're learning, you're growing, you're understanding who you are as a woman and the woman that you desire to be. But embrace the woman that has come before. Embrace the woman who is learning and striving for more. Embrace what it's taking to get you to this destination. And here's the deal. Once we hit that goal, there's always going to be another goal. And I don't say that to scare you. I say that to warn you. There was a time in my life when we had set goals. We had set lofty goals. We had set goals that I was like, man, there is no flipping way that we're going to hit these numbers, that we're going to hit, this. One of them was purchasing a building. And I was like, there is just no way. There's no way. And I remember writing the goal down and it truly scared me because I was like, well, how many employees would that be? And, how many clients is that? And oh my gosh, how many sessions? Like, how is that even possible? And it is because you get there. Now, here's the deal. We got there and then we got complacent and we didn't strive for more, didn't set higher goals. And I'm sharing this with you because that is a dangerous slope. We always want to be focused forward. What else? How else can we serve? What else can we do? Who else can we impact? What's fulfilling to you? There has to be this higher purpose, this higher calling. And if it doesn't scare the bejesus out of you, you need to set a higher goal. Okay. So I'm telling you that as a warning that, hey, this is the journey and not just your destination. Of course, you're going to hit your destination. Okay. But remember, get there, take it in, feel it, be proud, celebrate, and then we focus on a new goal. If it's a health and wellness goal, maybe it's a body composition goal versus a weight loss goal. Maybe it's a strength goal versus a weight loss goal. There's so many different, maybe there's a race or a challenge or something that you've been looking at doing. So embrace this journey and keep the journey going. Number 2 is failure is feedback. So failures have to be embraced, that they are stepping stones rather than a stumbling block. I have so many women that want this journey to be perfect. And quite frankly, I want this journey to be perfect because that's how I'm wired too. Okay, so I get you. But it won't be perfect. It can't be. Okay. It's got to have challenges. It's got to have struggle. It's got to have this feeling of failure, because when we fail, get the opportunity to learn, we get to gain the feedback. And so then what happens is we get this feedback, and the feedback's going to guide us towards improved strategies and increase our resilience. So it's never a dead end. So many times I have women in a health and wellness journey that they have one blip, one mistake, one bad day, and oh my God, I can't do this, right? And listen, I get it. I have felt that way too, okay? There's many times with many different goals that I'm like, what the heck? Why can't this just happen, okay? But every time we get the opportunity to learn and grow. I have had a leak at one of our rentals that I am so fed up with. But today I embraced an open mindset around this. And I embrace that, you know what, this is another opportunity to learn more about this building. And the more I know about this building, the more we can handle things. And the really cool thing, what I thought the problem was, thankfully wasn't even close. And once I was able to speak with the roofers and that we were able to poke around, we pulled up some boards. It has a rooftop deck, so it's extremely challenging to get to the problem. And so, case in point, don't think I'll be doing any rooftop decks again. That was a great idea, not anymore. But again, another lesson to learn. But I learned that, you know what, hey, it may just be a matter of pulling out the door, which, yes, I know sounds like a big deal, but in hindsight, it's going to fix the problem, get the flashing right, and replace the trim that has rotted. Okay, who knew the trim rotted, right? Like, I didn't know that. It's painted. It looks fine to me, right? But again, it's such an opportunity. I hope you guys are laughing. So I kept looking at this property like, man, there's so many things that keep going wrong. And it's like, you know what? It's just an opportunity to learn and grow. It's another moment to understand more about this building, how things are put together, and, the maintenance that is required on a building that's in its ugly teenage years, right? So number 3, and speaking of having a growth mindset, number 3 is we want to cultivate a growth mindset. So we want to replace the belief that your abilities are fixed. And with a growth mindset that strives on having challenges and learning and wanting to learn more. So we have to embrace the idea that effort, learning, and perseverance leads to mastery and achievement. And that's what we're on. We're constantly on this journey that we're going to continue to learn and grow. Never once should you ever feel like this is it. I have arrived. I have made it. There's always something else to learn. Just the second, especially in this health, wellness, fitness industry, if you sit on your hands and you think you had it all figured out from college or whatever, you are severely wrong. The funniest thing is I can tell you 2 distinct things that I was taught in college out of textbooks by professors that we do not do anymore. We do not preach 6 small meals a day for a person who desires weight loss. That's gone, okay? And we also do not promote stretching. And this is wild because even to this day, I still have people that say, well, what stretches do you recommend? And I'm like, actually none. And let me explain why. When you think about stretching, and this is funny because there's franchises that are 100% about stretching, and they do a lot of other modalities. So just FYI, what they were originally created for, they are now venturing far, far away to then come back. So here's the deal. When you think of stretching, all you are doing is putting stress on the tendon, which then is attached to the muscle. If you stretch too hard, too fast, cold, you can actually do micro trauma that can then lead into more trauma. So we have since learned that compression therapy is a really, really good thing. So like using a foam roller. And then we've taken it one more step just here recently with percussion guns. These massage guns are just fantastic. I literally use a Theragun, which is the brand, and I use it the first 5-7 minutes before every single workout, every single walk, every single strength training workout that I do. I take the first 5 to 7 minutes and I run that thing all over my body, and man, it feels amazing. But it's wild to me that things that we were taught, I've been out of college for a hot minute now, but things we were taught are now no longer in our best interest. And that's where we have to stay in this growth mindset that things are changing, things are evolving. There's better processes, there's better solutions to the problem. Just think about technology and things that are available to us. So we have to constantly flex our muscles. We have to constantly put in the reps and learn and grow what else we can do. Number 4 is we've got to embrace change as an opportunity. So we have to shift from fearing change to embracing it as an opportunity for growth and adaptation. Embracing change opens doors to new experiences and possibilities, propelling you closer to your long-term goals. So we get comfy, right? And it feels good to be right here, and I'm totally with you, but we've got to think about getting a little uncomfortable and looking at this as, man, every time I get uncomfortable is a new opportunity for me to learn and grow. I remember, and I've told you guys this a few times, public speaking was just not my jam. I got so flustered, palms would sweat, pit in my stomach, voice would quiver. And now it's just like, cool, when, where, and tell me how much. Like, cool, let's go. So it's important to understand that as you evolve, as you put the reps in, things become easier. Got to understand that sometimes change is a really good thing, okay? And so this 5th one that I want to highlight is practice self-compassion. This is a big one, ladies. Trade self-criticism for self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you offer to others. This shift nurtures resilience and is going to help lift your ability to overcome setback, okay? So we got to go easy on ourselves. Now, I can appreciate if we're a driven woman, we want to go hard and we want to get after it. But sometimes we have to have a little bit of empathy for ourselves. I always had this mindset of go hard or go harder on everything. And it was wild until I started really tracking and understanding my recovery, thanks to the Aura ring that I've been wearing now for a couple years. Guys, I just got the new generation and oh my gosh, it's so cool. So I just love data and I'm a data geek and I've worn this ring for so many years now, and I lose weight, right? You're going to have a different ring size, and I kept flinging my old one off my finger and I was like, man, I'm going to lose this darn thing. Well, I thought I'd lost it. Well, I left it in the shower. So But anyways, I love this thing so much that I literally was so frustrated that I ordered a new one. And I'm glad I did because it's a newer generation. There's more bells and whistles to it. And what I love about it is it will absolutely tell me, go easy today. Now, why do I need an app to tell me to go easy? But you guys get it. Feel like we need to get after it all the time, every day. And sometimes I just need to go for a walk, right? Sometimes I just need to not push it. Sometimes I need to get through range of motion in my strength training workouts, and that is good enough for the day. So we have to truly be compassionate to ourselves versus always criticizing. When you look in the mirror, it is okay to look in the mirror and say, gosh, I want to see this, this, and this differently. But it doesn't mean that we criticize ourselves like, girl, I can't believe you did this. I can't believe you let yourself get this way. That will never serve you any day, every day. And we want to replace that with, girl, listen, I'm so thankful for you. I'm thankful you've gotten me to this point. I cannot wait to see you this way, that way. And man, it's going to be awesome because we're going to feel so good. Okay. So we embrace who we are today. That body got us where we are. And she's pretty flippin' magnificent. Okay. I will never forget when I had Theo and I looked down and I took that first shower post having him. I was still in the hospital. He was in the NICU unit. And I remember looking down horrified at my legs. And let me tell you why. When you're in labor for 55 hours and you have no food, your body is really, really cool. And your body figures out a way to get fuel. So the first thing it's going to do is grab glycogen. And then the next thing it's going to do is start going after, ideally you would love it to go after fat, which I'm sure it did a little bit, but it went after lean tissue. And again, I'm thankful I had the amount of lean tissue I had on my body because it truly helped me. But when I looked down at those legs, I was horrified. Now, here's a side note to losing lean tissue. That winter that came after he was born in the summer, that winter I could wear tall boots. So there is a silver lining. I had never been able to wear tall boots because I have very large calves, and that's just from years of running. And for the first time in my life, I was able to put on tall boots, and they actually went on without a complete struggle or being completely uncomfortable to the point that I would take them off. So there's that. But I remember criticizing how I looked post. And I remember that totally didn't serve me. And I wish I could go back to that time and space and be like, okay, girl, it's all good. You'll get this back. And thank God you had that because that helped you get through. But again, I will never forget I can vividly see it today in the nice like peach pinky tile that was on the floor. And I was like, should I have flip-flops on? Why didn't I bring flip-flops? But I didn't think I was going to be in the hospital long enough for this. So all good. So what I want you to think about is just how can we be kind and gentle to ourselves, but also when do I need to hold myself accountable? Number 6 is I want you to celebrate progress and not perfection. Okay, we have to celebrate the wins, what was good, and there's always something good every single week. Even if it felt like a week from hell, there is something that you can celebrate and something you should focus on. And we need to celebrate when we move the needle forward. When it's a half pound, I don't want you getting mad. It's a half pound. We've moved the needle forward. Okay, release this pressure of being flawless and celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Recognize that each step forward it truly contributes to your long-term success. This is something I do on every single coaching call that I host with my online coaching clients, is we always talk about what's been good. And I know for some women, they get on that call and they're like, dang it, like I have nothing. And here's the deal, they do. And what I force them to do in a polite manner is have to find something that has gone well. And I challenge every woman because you need to focus on what is good, what is noble, what is of good report, okay? because what is lovely that's going on in your life. And I know that there's been multiple times when I felt like nothing was going right, but man, there were so many blessings that in that moment you just put blinders on, right? Because you think everything's bad and terrible. But here's the deal, there's a lot of blessings should we choose to look for them. Number 7 is we want to embody positivity and gratitude. So we just want to be a positive person, be in gratitude, give thanks. So we shift our focus from dwelling on problems to adopting this positive outlook and practicing gratitude. A positive mindset fuels motivation and it attracts opportunities, propelling you towards what you desire. So I never got into a lot of this woo-woo stuff, but I can tell you after doing enough, and I shouldn't call it woo-woo anymore, but like after doing enough of this mental programming and training and going back and just revisiting lessons and things, it is amazing when you're giving off negativity, what comes back to you. When you're in a foul mood, well, then it reflects. So we are mirrors. And when we're good and happy, like, okay, think about if your partner, your spouse came in and they came in the room and they were just in a terrible mood, right? Then all of a sudden you lose the wind out of your sails, right? Or let's just say like your partner comes in and they're like, oh my God, this just happened. Yeah. And like all of a sudden your endorphins go up, your body temperature, your heart rate, everything goes up, and it's a good thing. So here, I do this a lot when I would do face-to-face sales conversations in our gym, which I still do to this day. And when you sit down, it took me a few years of doing this, but I didn't ever realize how intimidating a gym is. And not to everybody, right? Like some people have grown up in the gym and they totally embrace it. But I will never forget when we had someone come in our previous facility, which was much smaller. We had a packed house. It was 5:30 at night. Sweat was flinging. And I mean, we were in a very, very small space. And the consultation room was just this little like nook that we made. And you could hear people grunting and sweating and groaning, complaining about the workout. Said no one ever. But I remember this guy and he smushed himself against the wall. He was so frightened by what was going on. And he was like, oh my God, is it always like this in here? And I was like, oh my gosh, man, come here, let me get you. And I pulled him into the little nook that we had created. And I said, hey, let's talk about you. And very quickly, I brought my tonality down. He brought his tonality down. I took a big breath. He took a big breath, and we started to mirror. And I've learned this, that when you have someone who's supercharged, when you have someone that is anxious, you can bring them down just with your own neurology, with your own physiology, right? And it's a really, really cool thing to just see someone all of a sudden. I mean, have you ever noticed when someone just speaks very calmly and it just is so comforting, right? It can bring you down a notch and you're like, oh, this is nice. I feel better. Thank you for this chat. And it's a really unique gift that I can tell you not everybody has. But the more that I've studied and watched people, like you can just see when someone is amped, I can quickly bring them down just with very simple tonality and breath. So it's pretty cool. And so with that, the positivity side, when you're positive, you're going to give that off. That's what's going to come back to you in the universe. When you're full of gratitude, you're giving thanks, people will give thanks back to you. The coolest thing about all of this is when you take personal responsibility for you and how you want to feel, the cool thing is the universe, the world, God, people, they all give it right back to you the way that you're giving it off to them. And so just think about it. If everybody in this world would just love themselves, my God, I mean, it would be a pretty beautiful place. Number 8 is we've got to step out of our comfort zone. And this isn't a shock, right? I'm sure you're just like, okay, cool, Arin. But replace the comfort of routine with the excitement of exploration. I've used the word curious before. Challenge yourself to step out of this comfort zone, as this is where the real growth happens. This is where innovation starts to occur. And you start to see yourself going, okay, this is pretty cool. I see this a lot with food. Some people have very distinct food preferences, and which is fine. But I also ask them to be curious about trying other things. Now, obviously, you can meet someone where they're at, but it's seeing what else is available. What else do you like? What do you care for? Expand the palette. I know when I went to college, I had a very set palette of this is what I ate. And it was very interesting to start opening up and expanding. In a small town, you don't have sushi, or at least when I grew up, you didn't have sushi. And man, I'll tell you what, once you get into the bigger city, you're like, oh, there's 50 sushi places. And I was so freaked out, but I remember it was quite the acquired taste for me. I personally do not love fish. So let's just be honest. So I will do it in small doses, but that's about it. So get out of this comfort zone. And number 9 is let's take ownership of your choices. And this is a big one, guys. So shift from feeling like a victim of circumstances to taking ownership of your choices and your response. So you get to decide how you respond to stuff. This empowerment enhances your ability to shape your future and drive the long-term success that you desire. Listen, we got a piece of paper in the mail this last week that just totally rocked me to my core. It made me so frustrated, but I really stepped back and used the tools and the mental programming that I was like, you know what, girl, no matter what this letter says, you're going to figure it out. Always do. You have proof that you always do, and you're not going to let this turkey get under your skin. And honest to God, Tony came home, and I said, hey, I just want you to know what is being presented in front of us, and here's the steps that I've already taken, and here's what the outcome is going to be, and it's all good. And he was like, wow, I am really proud of you. And then here's the deal. I was proud of him because he didn't wig out either. And he said, I'm so proud of you using your tools and using your skills to be able to navigate something that would normally have just really been super frustrating. Just, crack open the bottle of wine because, that was going to solve a problem, right? And he was just super proud. And then I was proud of him too because of his reaction and his reinforcement in seeing hey girl, you are growing. And it was a very empowering moment that I was like, man, this guy is still being a turkey and he won't go away, but by God, we're going to make him go away. And I'm very thankful for very amazing attorneys. So there's that. So you taking ownership of how you feel, how your circumstance is going to go, and how you respond. That is a wild one. How we respond to things is wild, and it can be so empowering. Okay. So get to decide how we respond. And I know that doesn't feel like, okay, girl, you're really kind of getting me on this one, but just be empowered by that, because things can get under our skin, right? Our just anything that is out of our control. So that's how I want to preface this, is there are absolutely things that are out of our control. We cannot control other people, right? That just doesn't work all day, every day. And so when we realize that we don't need to control the other person, we need to control how we respond. That is an empowering space. It saves a lot of drama and it just helps you stay in this growth mindset. So to take ownership of your choices, take ownership of your responses. All right. And number 10 here is visualize and manifest success. Okay. So replace doubt with visualization. What do I want? What do I desire? Regularly visualize your long-term success and take intentional action that is aligned with your vision. This shift empowers you to manifest your dreams into reality. And again, if you would have asked Arin even just 2-3 years ago, I would have been like, that's a little woo, a little weird. But I'm here to tell you that when you can start visualizing the things that you desire, the things that you want in life, but here's the problem. You've been taught so much limitation. Don't believe the number on the scale is possible. Don't believe that we can wear a certain size of clothing. Don't believe that we can, exercise or do this, do that. We don't believe that career is something we can obtain. We don't believe that financial status is something we're worthy of. Man, this stuff can get so deep, but this is truly everything. So number 10 is probably one of my, they're all important, but this one's pretty important, is I want you to truly live into who you want to become. Because this is truly, and I'm going to pull it all the way back to the very beginning, what we first talked about, is you have to believe in who you're becoming as a part of this journey. Okay? It's not just about creating these new habits. It's becoming this new person that you desire to be. People ask me all the time, how do you have willpower? I'm like, I don't. This is who I am. They passed around donuts in one of my networking meetings, and I just kind of laughed because, I should have just eaten 5 of them, right? Just to see what everybody would do. But I joke. I just don't desire donuts, okay? And maybe on an occasion, a really good one, fine. But it's just, I know all it's going to do is rev up my sugar, my heart rate's going to increase, and then I'm just going to feel yucky. And I'm so thankful that I know that that's how I'm going to feel. Therefore, it's not willpower. It's who I am. I am a health and fitness professional, okay? This is what I do. I am a freak that eats well 99% of my life, okay? And that other 1% is really fun. No, it's probably not quite that. But, and that's the other thing too, is it doesn't have to be perfect ever. But know who you want to be. Visualize her, see her, get into a meditative state. Find a way to get yourself into what's called an altered state and start truly dreaming of who is this woman? Who is she becoming? What does she look like? What does she do? What clothes does she wear? How does she feel on a daily basis? Who is she with? What do they look like? What is the home? What is the career? What kind of finances? And just all the pieces that are important to you. What is your spirituality like? There's just so many different avenues that we can go with this. So to pull this all together, success is a harmonious blend of strategy, of action, and mindset. By adopting these 10 mindset shifts, you'll create a solid foundation that just endure anything, okay? And you're going to have the achievement. So remember, the mindset shapes your reality, and by nurturing a mindset primed for growth, resilience, and positivity, you're setting yourself on an unwavering path toward long-term success that you deserve, okay? I'm just going to say that. You deserve this. So embrace the shifts. I said shifts, not... So embrace the shift. Watch your journey transform. I love the word transform. It's actually the name of our gym, and it's such a powerful word. You transform the body, the mind, the soul, and it's so cool. So embrace the shift and watch the journey transform into this inspiring tale of triumph and just personal evolution. I love watching the evolution. Your success story starts with a simple shift in your mind, and the possibilities limitless are limitless. Taught limitation. You're infinite. We are infinite beings. Okay? So, into these words, take them in, listen to this again, should you need to, why not? And share this. Share this with another woman. Share this with another woman that you know needs to grow, that you know needs to open their mind, be expansive, that has been taught the limitation and she needs to let it go like yesterday. Okay? So your success story starts with a simple shift in your mind, and the possibilities are limitless. Go get them.